3. All right, please find your seats. We'll go ahead and get started. Call this meeting of the Student Government Association to order. I'd like to remind everybody, unless you're at the podium in accordance with Tech's mask policy, please. Yeah.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. In accordance with Tech's mask policy, if you're not at the podium speaking 6 feet from others, please keep your mask on unless you're eating or drinking. Okay. At this time, we're going to do things a little differently. We're going to observe a moment of silence, and you can observe that how you wish. So we'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, I'll ask Senator Camden Sanford to lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, the Secretary will call the roll.
Danielle Torres. Max Broussard.
Here.
Annalise Russell. Here. Abhi Child. Okay, everybody else I've already found you, so you're good.
Okay. Well, then moving on, we don't have any public forum. We do have a coach coming later this evening, and so we'll go back to this section when he arrives. But now I'll recognize the president for her report.
Are you okay? Y'all give me 1 second. I didn't fill out my slide because I got out of my meeting late. Sorry. Okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay. So, there's this new thing that it can see everybody. It can see y'all and me. So I'm trying to figure it out. Gage is super excited about it. So y'all. So the first thing I wanted to say was I had 2 meetings this week. One with the last week with the counseling center. One this week with the career center. And it was really cool because I got to see some of the legislation that we did last year, like in place and how it's affecting and benefiting the students and those departments. So shout out to the senators that are still in the Senate that wrote the career closet bill and the iPad bill for the counseling center. I met with the director of the counseling center, Ashley Owen, and she walked me around, showed me all the iPads and how it's increased their efficiency, and told me like how it even helped them when the nickel students came because they didn't have to bring paperwork where it could have gotten lost and breached the confidentiality of the nickel students. And so they got to bring the iPads directly there. So it helps them do remote stuff too, and it's really helped them in their crisis. So shout out to those senators, and shout out to the senators who made the career closet. They had their first, not customer, but first student in need go and get a suit for career day. And so that student ended up getting an interview. So that's super cool. And that's something that has kind of like had a soft opening. So their grand opening is actually going to be during homecoming week on the same day that we do the career closet drive. So we're super excited about that. Like the Chamber of Commerce is going to come. It's going to be like a really big deal. And the senators that wrote that bill are going to be invited to that too. Surprise. So yeah, there's that. And then I had APC and I told them about all the stuff going on. APC is like the presidential cabinet meeting, which is all the vice presidents, all the academic deans, all the student affairs deans, so it's super fun. And that was really cool because I told them all the things that we have going on. They were just so excited to have students back on campus and everything like that. TLC applications, freshman senate applications, homecoming court applications were all due, and so those are all underway, so y'all be prepared to share so many graphics, okay? That's really important because I haven't seen as much graphic sharing as we have in the past, but that It only takes you 2 more seconds to go to the Google Drive, right? Yeah. Woo, yay. Another thing, Payson told y'all last week about So I Got Hunger and how we are starting a new initiative to fight food insecurity on campus, and that's something that Airmark has actually agreed to do with us, so I'm super excited about that. And we're going to do some swipe drives and things like that, so y'all stay on the lookout. Time for Tech was awesome. There was one other thing. And I'll let the department heads do all the other talking, for sure. Y'all have a good week. Love y'all. Stop.
My report's kind of boring. So for my report, we're going to talk about, tonight, as you all know, we're going to be discussing ex officios, and the Senate's going to be taking up that and debating it. And it is a very serious ordeal, and it requires senators to really debate and come to a decision, not just debating each other, but really deciding amongst themselves what the best course is for the student body. With that being said, I want to remind everybody, including senators and cabinet people, if you choose to stay to hear these proceedings, how these proceedings work, right? So if you are not a member of the Senate, you cannot be recognized to speak. That includes Kiara, that includes Elizabeth. The only reason I'm speaking is because I'm the Speaker of the Senate and I run the meeting. But otherwise, I don't give you my opinion on anything. So I have no opinion on anything that's discussed tonight. Secondly, senators, because we haven't gone through our formal training, our more senior members know all this already. You cannot speak unless I have recognized you. So that can just be raising your hand. If you want to stand, you can do that. But if you just start speaking, then I'll shut you down and we'll recognize the person who did it right, okay? We're not going to use crowd mics tonight because we're working on our software, and we have found that it kind of hears better if there's no delay. So we're going to try that tonight and see. We may go back to it at a later date whenever we get it fully set up, but for now, we're going to use just over the, you speaking. But as far as the Senate goes, guys, no, you guys wouldn't do this, but if somebody really gets heated, no name calling, no personal attacks, no scrapping at it. We're not getting into all that. If somebody says something directly at you, that's uncalled for, right? So if me and Abram are debating and I say, well, Abram, you don't say people's names in the Senate meeting, okay? You can say the gentleman, you can say the gentlelady, you can say the senator, you can say my colleague, but you don't say someone's name. That's inappropriate. Also, we're not going to do any type of slander, accusations, things like that. So just basic debate rules. As far as cabinet goes, you guys cannot speak whatsoever. You cannot, and this is not to be ugly, that's just how it is ran. And it's just so we can continue moving smoothly through the debate process. But cabinet members can't speak. You also can't show signs of support or whatever. So don't be clapping or booing. We got to let the Senate hear each other and work to come to a conclusion because they are working right now. They're not just making talking points. Okay? Any questions about that? We're pretty, okay, good. All right. Well, then that's all that I have, the boring side. The other side of it is that career clauses stuff is amazing. That is exactly the purpose of the Student Body Senate, and that just fills me with joy. So that kind of stuff is why I ran for this office, because you guys can have a direct impact on the members of the student body in awesome ways. That person got an interview that they may not have gotten without that set of clothing and that confidence that comes with just, dressing nice. So that's really cool. So let's give a round of applause for those members that wrote that piece of legislation. That's good stuff. So with that being said, senators, let that inspire you when you go, and I've seen on your office hour logs that you've been working on legislation. And if you're putting that and you're not actually working on legislation, be prepared for me to ask you what you're working on. So I'm not going to attack you or anything. But if you are working on something, I'm super excited. If you want to include me in the process, I would love to. That way we can get the ball rolling. I'd love to help you out any way we could and get any help you need. Okay? All right. Well, that being said, that is all for my report. So the treasurer is not here. Do we have anything that Ty needed to say?
Don't spend money unless you talk to Ty.
Don't spend money unless you talk to Ty.
And fill out Wes's form.
Amen.
I got you, Wes.
I heard an amen. Good. Okay, the Madam Secretary's report.
Victoria, are you gonna talk about diversity stuff again? You and Lauren, are y'all gonna talk about, can y'all mention diversity dates in a bit? Great.
Just stand in the view of this.
Hey, everybody. Okay, so kind of the same thing as always, but I did want to give y'all a big old fat shout out for office hours because week 2, y'all were killing it. There were a few people who didn't do them, but I'm gonna talk to y'all. It'll all be fine and dandy. But y'all really are doing an excellent job with like keeping up with that. So I cannot thank y'all enough. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate it. Also, y'all's hazing certificates are gonna be due next Tuesday. They're gonna be due midnight, like Tuesday after meeting that midnight. So I guess Wednesday morning. But we're just gonna say 11:59 Tuesday night. And so I'll give y'all one final reminder next week, but all of those need to be sent to latech.sga secretary@gmail.com, same as everything else. But make sure I'll get them done. For all of y'all who have already sent them in, thank y'all so much. Y'all are making my life so easy. And I have the website that you're going to right there already, so write that down now if you don't remember it. Excuses for retreat are due October 12th. If you won't be able to make that, retreat's going to be the 29th and 30th. We will be done by 11 a.m., so if you have something later in the day on the 30th, it won't be affected. And it's not like we're going to be, going anywhere crazy. We'll be right down the road, so that's good. But yes, thank y'all again. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace out.
That was passionate. All right. With that, look, I added the slide for you.
I do not have anything to report. Thank you, though.
Oh, man. I made a whole slide. Do you really not have a...
I really
Oh, you want to just say something for heck of it?
thank you for your well wishes. I had COVID last week. I'm back. My ear hurts so bad right now. I don't even know what to think. My ear hurts worse than the COVID ever could. So I don't know what's going on there. So I appreciate any more well wishes that you give me because I got to jump on an airplane tomorrow and that's going to suck. So yeah, there's that.
Sending prayers.
Yeah. The only other thing I would ask is just in the sake of helping you guys to help us. Anytime you're going to pass anything, like senators, when you're writing resolutions and bills, I know you are doing this already. Make sure that we have a good chain of communication so that PR, when she's meeting with Dr. Crawford or Mr. Speed or whoever, she can just go in and tell them. They just don't like to be caught off guard with stuff, and it just helps her to be able to go in and say, hey, just want to put this on your radar, this is what we're doing. So that's my piece. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm glad you recovered. We missed you. Okay. All right. Cabinet reports. So if cabinet members, you have a report, just move your mask, speak nice and loudly so we can hear you on the thing, and go at it. Who's first? Go ahead.
Alright, hey y'all. So another reminder, diversity training is Wednesday, October 13th or Thursday, October 28th. I'm gonna be sending a spreadsheet in the Google on the group me soon to fill out so you can let me know which day you're coming, just so we have a head count. And also, this is not our event, but I'm gonna flag it because it's about international students. The international student night for the soccer team is Friday, October 1st at 7 p.m. So it'd be really great if you guys could come out and support those international students because, they come all the way here for the American experience. So let's just support them, because they're a part of our tech family. And yeah, I hope y'all have a great week.
You said that's 7?
Yes, Friday, October 1st at 7 p.m. And that's it. Y'all have a good week.
All right. Any other cabinet members have a report? Okay.
Okay, hey y'all, sports, let's go. Okay, for one, like she said, International Student Night is at 7 o'clock in Utah for soccer, and the first 100 fans that get there will get an all-exclusive Louisiana Tech scarf. So it's really cool, so try to be one of the first ones there. Also, remember that at all football games right now, we have got it worked out with athletics. They've listened to what the students have said, and they are doing Declining Balance and Tech Express for the concession stand, so definitely use that, and also spread the word to all of your friends and everything like that. And also, it is in the works that right before basketball season, we will have another hype night, and this one will be bigger and better than it's ever been before. So make sure to look out for that.
Sports continued. Hideaway Park, first and foremost, we were applauded today for being good at Hideaway Park, and so we have 3 home games left. So let's continue our winning streak and our good streak at Hideaway Park. Also, we want to bring back and re-emphasize Royal Blue Fridays. So every Friday, be sure to be wearing your Royal Blue out and about with blue out just the entire campus and your classes as well.
And tag SGA, tag your organization that you're in, your college, and especially athletics when you post your Royal Blue Friday. Do the hashtag Royal Blue Friday.
Selfies are approved. And then lastly, we have a surprise coming up. We're not going to give you any hints, but it's coming. It should be a surprise revealed right before the homecoming game. And so be looking forward to that. Sports.
Sports? We have 2 surprises. Woo! 2 surprises. Oh yeah, 2.
Yeah.
Oh.
And a third surprise, they're going to start doing refills for snow cones, right?
No.
No.
So you need to talk
They're going to do that.
about that one, not us. So.
Airmark.
Never mind. Airmark.
Kona Ice.
We are athletics.
I got a meeting with. Okay, who's next? Kelly Cole. Sorry, Ethan.
Okay, y'all. First of all, y'all are doing great hosting the graphics. I know that I feel like I say it every single day, but y'all really are doing great. A little change to October 6th for headshots. If you did not go get your headshots, I do have a list of y'all, and I don't want to badger y'all. Y'all know who you are. If you get your headshot done, I need you to go get it done October 6th or October 7th. On October 6th, it's going to be 2:30 to 4 now. Emerald has a shoot with football. Remember how we gave that example a couple weeks ago? It came true. She has a shoot with football at 5, and she needs to be able to like pack up all of her equipment and get over there. And it's a lot of equipment. I will be helping her carry it over there. So if y'all could like switch around your schedules, if you were planning on coming like right after work at like 4:30 or something, maybe try and get there on October 7th, which is 12 to 2. And those will also be ex officio days, so I'll be making another announcement about it when we have our ex officios in meeting. And then the Bulldog Bark, the SGA Ask column went live today. Kiara's really excited about it. It's a cute little graphic, so y'all be sharing the graphic. I did put, by recommendation of our wonderful Allison on my team, that we put SGA's bio instead of like our bio. So y'all go share that, share the graphics, and like Jordan said, y'all tag SGA in y'all's pictures, whether y'all are like at the games or anything. So like I want to share those and like highlight y'all. We'll be doing member highlights when we have everybody and all of our wonderful, beautiful headshots and everything. But y'all are doing great work, and I will say that University Communications, the office that I work in, they are always hyping up SGA, like always hyping us up. And that means a lot to me, and it's great that I get to represent y'all there. So, woohoo! Y'all are doing great. If y'all have any questions, please let me know. Fill out the graphic form if you have an event. Love y'all.
One note about pictures. If you don't take your picture, Bronson and Colin are going to go find a really embarrassing picture from your mom's Facebook to put on the website. So choose wisely. You ready to go? I'm trying to do my best.
Circling back to PR's report, put the link tree in your bio. Kelly will drop it in the group meeting. Let's do it. Put the link tree in your bio because it has the link to your contact information, especially for a center. That's really good. It has the link to our website. It has the link to all the resolutions, minutes, and
Live stream.
legislation. It has a live stream, and it has the Bulldog Ask Call. It's really important. It's really cool. Let's share it. Transparency. Okay, next report.
Okay, next report. Amanda.
Okay. So this year we have decided to do away with homecoming pairs. So basically we will be selecting 14 males and 14 females so on for the election. Yeah. But instead of you voting for pairs as you normally would have, this year it will be like the top 7 females and top 7 males. And will be basically alphabetically and just match all up alphabetically. So in every event besides the actual homecoming at the game, we will have y'all basically all just stand in a line and we'll make it all up like that. So instead of basically putting knowing who some kind of team we are all week, you won't know until the game, basically. We will be sending out who got interviews on Thursday.
I just wanted to add to that, this was a super really good idea that Amanda and Samantha had, and because kind of when it is announced in pairs, so like if Wes and Miss Geis and Katie McGowan and Dr. Crawford were paired up, you know it's gonna be between those two, right? And so it kind of minimizes the experiences of everyone else, and so having individualized homecoming court kind of recognizes the everything that those individual students have done. And it also kind of takes away like the cattiness that in that week it leads up to. And it's just like, I think it's a really good idea. So if we could give a round of applause for them for making that. If you have any questions about that, we will probably get a lot of questions about that. So I wanted them to announce it to you all so y'all can explain like what the thought process was behind it. And also, because when they announce the court officially, they're not going to do it like West Cabin and Miss Geis. You know what I mean? They're going to go West Cabin, Miss Geis. You know what I'm saying? Good deal. So y'all be good communicators with that, okay?
So if you ever see any pairs, it doesn't mean anything, it's just for like logistics purposes and stuff like that, so we just wanted to make them informed and
Queens.
individualize it so that people recognize their like achievements. Also, thank your orgs and everybody for like signing up for those competitions that we're gonna have. We had a really good turnout with like our forums, our signups for that stuff, so thank them for signing up, and upcoming interviews are announced on Thursday.
Excellent. Any other reports? Lindsay?
Yeah, so the supply drive is on Thursday, so if you want to donate it, you have until Thursday to do that. But yeah, just keep sharing the graphic until then. I'll be counting the supplies and stuff on Thursday night to get all those things together and see which organization won. But yeah, and then also if you want to keep sharing the Google form that I shared with y'all last week, I can send it again, but that's just so that we can kind of see how people are volunteering and so that we can be better communicators to the state body of how we can volunteer in the community. But yeah.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Just a couple internal affairs updates. So, didn't have any attaboys, attagirls this week, but just attaboy, attagirl to all of y'all because y'all are feeling it. And then we have our first two flag football games next week. So keep an eye out in the groupie. We're gonna send dates and times for that. Great.
All right. Any other? I don't see any hands. Oh, Colin. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, Bronson. Even better. Please sit down.
What's up? Just a few technology updates. I am sending in the groupie right now 2 links. One is to a little demo I made of the website redesign, which is just a little directory. We're hoping to have a directory of just everybody on SGA, who they are, what they do, why they are where they are, and how you can get in contact with them. And that leads me into the second link, which is a Google form. I need everyone in this room to fill out that Google form, and just if you are exec, a senator, or a director, you're going to be asked to do like a short little bio of yourself. That's going to go on the website, just like you see on the demo I sent out. And you also include as much or as little contact information as you want. We just ask that senators and directors, y'all at the very least put y'all's emails so that obviously the student body can get in contact with the people who are meant to be representing them, or the people who are running events or whatever else you directors are doing. A few notes on the demo. The pictures I did just grab from the GroupMe for the people who did submit me some stuff, but it's going to be y'all's headshots. So take y'all's headshots, or else I will just find whatever embarrassing thing I can find. Otherwise, yeah. The website is going to hopefully go live in 2 weeks, once freshman elections are done, because freshman elections are run through the current website, and I would really rather not break that. And I'm working on getting in touch with the computing center about getting us a platform to run that on. So that is website news. Also, we are live on YouTube. This is not new, but what is new is that it looks pretty. So share that with your friends, with your constituents. We want people to be able to see exactly what we're doing, exactly what we're talking about. That is accountability and transparency. So do that.
Yeah. Yeah, amen. Yeah, share that, guys, big time. The link tree, you can maybe post it on put it in your bio and like take a screenshot and be like, check out my bio, and then circle the live stream. It's an idea.
You
Okay,
should be on PR.
I am.
Circle everything, everything.
Huh?
That's actually what PR did tonight. Posted a story and circled the, yeah.
I'm so smart.
Look at you.
Hey,
Look at you.
Anyways,
Ethan's got a report. Can you keep it down, please? Thank you. Ethan, please.
Yeah, so, big elections people here. So our poll results were really, really good. Thank you for sharing it to the group news. We had over 800 responses. But we will be doing a PowerPoint, next meeting. Please don't miss it. It's good. It contains a lot of really, really good insight from the student body, as well as a lot of, I hate to put it this way, sobering statistics, if I'm being honest with you all. But we also are going to be partnering with PR team for creating a video for frequently asked questions. So there were a lot of really, really good questions, a lot of really, really good input from this poll. We want to pull that and we want to apply it in certain ways as well as we can all apply it as well. We had 9 candidates get confirmed for freshman center, so woo-hoo. We have a couple here.
Yay!
But the campaign period will be October 4th through the 8th, as well as voting will be the 7th through the 8th at the same time. So
Is that it? Thanks, guys. A moving report as usual.
thanks.
You're welcome. Any other cabinet members have a report? TLC, y'all got something going on? Interviews, huh?
Interviews, baby.
Woo! Okay, great.
that's important.
Roy, you have anything to add? Okay, all right, well we'll move on to Senate reports. Do any senators have a report? Max, you don't have a report? Well, if Max says no, then we must not have reports. Oh, Max, the other Max. Okay, well, in that case, we're going to adjourn this part of the meeting, and then we will bring the coach in that would like to come speak to us before we go into Senate session. So at this time, the general body SGA is adjourned. Okay, very good.
All right, well, good evening, everybody. I had no idea it was going to be such a big crowd. Again, I'm Steve Bowles. I'm the head women's soccer coach here at Louisiana Tech University. Thank you. I seldom get applause for getting my name right, so I appreciate it. Thank you. And then I hope that you guys are willing to listen to a couple of things that we want to share with you and continue to work together. And I want, since I'm the new head coach here, I want to express my sincere interest in working with you guys and make women's soccer a sport that is highly attended, successful, and we can support you in every endeavor that you may have and need us for, and our staff will, and then expect you guys at our games. Real quick, I'm originally from Germany, so we have International Night this weekend, so I hope on Friday night we can see a lot of you guys and support our international students. I think we have 12 countries represented. And so we go all the way out to Japan, Australia, through Europe, and then Canada is our nearest neighbor we have represented. And then on Sunday, we're giving T-shirts away. Friday night, we're giving scarves away. In October, we have Breast Cancer Awareness Night. Our players will be wearing pink socks, and the staff will do stuff. And we have a Halloween night for our senior night as well. So we're trying to find ways to get interest from you guys. The culture of our program, they wanted me to talk about a little bit. And having been a student athlete myself, coming from Germany and playing down in Florida, I always appreciated having a home away from home. All right, so I came from Germany. We have players from all over the world, but not just from other countries, but California, New Jersey, Florida, North Carolina. Again, I'm sure some of you know many of our players. So they're always looking for a place, away from home. And by having you guys help us get a crowd out, support them, and then, engaging with them after the game, so on, they really, really appreciate it. It makes them feel welcome and get over that homesickness, especially early on. How many of you guys know when we actually come in for preseason? We actually come in like end of July. So I don't know how many of you guys are doing summer school or here year round, but we're here basically for about a month before school starts. So it gets pretty lonely, pretty quiet here. So if some of you are around, keep that in mind that, we're trying to get these young women acclimated. We have 18 new players. So basically half of our roster is brand new, coming from all over the world and all over the U.S. So any ideas that you have that we can get together, work something out where they feel welcome, and also increase the interest, from the student population side into our sport. And again, so going back to my experience, I always appreciated having that home away from home. So we try to create a culture in our program where we get them ready for graduate school, for the workplace, understanding that we live in a global society. We can argue about it whether that's true or not, but that's the reality of it. We're having, got to get used to folks from all over the world, different ideas, different concepts. And the more we learn, the more we get better. Who here watches Ted Lasso? Hi, there's a couple. They're my friends. All right. So there's one quote that he uses a lot too, and that I use with our players this year, and I sincerely mean that. Be curious, not judgmental. And I mean that. Like, learn first before you pass judgment on the people around you. So how many here think that out of our soccer players, everybody has a free ride and doesn't pay a dime for school? All right, you guys know a little bit. We have 36 players, 14 scholarships. That means the math doesn't add up. So actually we have several players that pay probably more than anybody would expect. So they are just really like anybody else around campus. And on top of that, they want to represent the university the right way. Wherever we go, win or lose, we want to represent La Tech the right way. We were out at the football game the other day and did a little appearance in the second quarter, but we want to do everything right by you. When you wear your La Tech shirt, they say, oh, your soccer team is doing pretty good. Your football team is doing pretty good. We want to do our part. So what can you guys do? Drum up support Friday for our home games that we have left. At least ask me, potentially to talk to you guys about how to cheer and support. Use your own creativity. I don't want to tell you how to cheer for soccer, but bring noisemakers, bring drums, bring horns, whatever, vuvuzelas they used to call them back in the day during the South African World Cup. But make noise, cheer, let the young women know out there that you're there behind them, win or lose, and that's half the battle. And really just wanted to give you guys a couple opportunities to ask a couple questions, see how we can support you potentially And really just also let you know, my office is in the new soccer complex. I'm on the website. You can look up my cell, my email, everything. If you have anything that you want to talk about or have ideas or just want to come out and watch a practice, that's fine too. We're here to support the university, and then at the same, hopefully can count on your support. All right, with that, I'll close it and see if anybody has any questions. Yes?
Is there anywhere you would like us in the stadium to kind of sit as a student section in comparison to spreading out across the entire thing?
That's a brilliant point. And so what I'd like to do in the future, for now, organize it yourself a little bit, pick up one section, one corner. And what I want to do, as you know, Tech Drive, there's a little hillside. I wanted that to be in the future designated the kennel, the student section, whatever you guys want to call it. I want to put bleachers up there and just make that place rowdy and loud so you're behind the other team's goalkeeper. But yes, for now, it's really open seating. No, exactly. We're going to get rowdy. Yeah, and we want that. But so that's a fair question. In the future, absolutely. And for now, say, hey, let's all meet over here, make this the student section, own it. Be there early, and then trust me, if you're loud, nobody wants to sit next to you but the students anyway, so that'll be good. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
What about student tickets?
Right now, student tickets are half price, I think, or is it free? I honestly don't know, but you can look it up. Ask the student office. Soccer is very, very cheap. I think it's only $5 for adults. But zero, it's free for students. Perfect. Yeah, with the student ID. Yeah. I have many hats. I don't wear the one at the ticket gates. I don't know, but I would assume it should be free. If not, I'll put a word for one of you guys.
Any other questions for him? Well, if not, let's give a big, huge round of applause.
Thank you, and bring that kind of enthusiasm on Friday, and we'll try to put on a good show for you guys. Enjoy your evening, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Pleasure to meet you.
Okay, at this time, we're going to take that break now. If you'd like to leave, you're more than welcome to. At this time, Senators, I encourage you to take a break. I'm going to take myself a break, and we'll reconvene in about 3 minutes. So, thank you all. I call this meeting of the Student Government 85th Senate to order. I recognize the Madam President, or correction, the Madam Secretary to call the roll.
Abram Bender,
You know it.
Alice Smith. Here. Alyssa Miller.
Here.
Anna Moscoso.
Here.
Audrey Smith.
Here.
Brennan Barber. Oh yeah, I forgot, sorry. Cannon Sanford. Here. Daniela Torres.
Here.
Emily Meany.
Here.
Gabe Freeman.
Here.
Harrison Cooper.
Here.
Ian Goldsby.
Here.
Julia Payne.
Here.
Jamar Anderson.
Here.
Ladarius Christian. Here. Lauren Beatrice.
Here.
Max Bryant.
Here.
Stephanie Glenn.
Here.
Okay. 1 second. Total present, 17.
What is it? One moment, we're having a slight issue with the attendance here. What is it? Is it not calculated?
No, I don't think so. This isn't. I'm pretty sure we do.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have it. Okay, so just continue. Just
Okay. Majority of present, 10. 2/3 of present, 12.
And we have met quorum as the Madam Secretary reports. We'll continue with meeting. That being said, we'll move to our first item of business. This will be the approval of the consent agenda to include the meeting minutes September 14th and September 21st, as well as approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion and second to approve the consent agenda? We have a motion, Senator Sanford. Do we have a second to the motion?
Second.
We have a sufficient second. Any discussion? Hearing none, do we have, are all those in favor, please vote no by saying aye.
Aye.
And the opposed? The motion carries. The consent agenda is approved. Regarding old business, the Secretary reports no old business. And now we'll move into new business. Number 1, ex officio senator appointment proceedings. We will begin. Is there a motion to move into nominations for the office of ex officio?
I'm going to move the nomination for the office of officio.
Senator Bender, with the motion, is there a sufficient second?
Second.
There is a second to that motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion's carried. We'll now open nomination. Senators, you've heard several times different numbers. The court met today to get a concise number, and I apologize. This was what was conveyed to me. The total number now will be 16. 16 or less. You can elect up to 16 members. Are there any questions regarding the amount of ex officios to be elected? That is 40% total, and you run the numbers. If you have any questions about that, we can pause, but 16 total.
And there's 19 applications, right?
There are, I believe, 22 applications. I think there was a duplicate, so it may be less than that. But yes, we have 22 applications. Any other questions regarding that? Senator Gouldy?
That is 19 distinct applications. There are 2.
The issue is there were 2 duplicates.
Yeah.
That's what the issue is. Sorry about that. Yes. Any other questions regarding that? Okay, hearing none, we're in a period. Senators, you may nominate as many as you like at this point in time. You may only elect 16. At this point, we'll recognize any senator to make a nomination. Senator Cooper?
I nominate the Peer Leadership Council.
PLC has been nominated. Do we have any other nominations? Go ahead.
I nominate the International Student Association.
Senator Meany?
I nominate Union Board IC.
We'll allow 1 nomination per. So Union Board it is. Senator Sanford?
I nominate Black Student Union.
BSU. Senator Payne?
I nominate African Students Association.
I nominate National Society of Black Engineers.
Bender?
I nominate United African American Ed.
Senator Sanford?
I nominate National Analytic Council.
I nominate a Alaska Nevada Association.
Senator Goolsby?
I nominate women of Louisiana for its quarters.
We'll take a brief moment of privilege here. Would the gentleman please inform the pianist to cease? Any other nominations? Senator Anderson?
I nominate Minority Association of Freedom Students.
I nominate the Engineering and Science Association.
Any other nominations?
I'm going to nominate the KLPI Radio.
Any other nominations? Yes? IFC has not been nominated. Any other nominations? If there are no other nominations, then I'll entertain a motion to end the nomination period. Senator?
Before you do that, can you repeat the list that has been nominated?
Yes. Nominated as of now has been PLC, ISA, I'm using their abbreviations. ISA, Union Board, BSU, ASA, NSBE, UAAM, National Panhellenic Council, Namaste Nepal, Women of Forestry and Supporters, Precision Flight Team, Pre-Med, Minority Association Pre-Med Students, ESA, KLPI, and IFC. Hearing that, would there be any other nominations? Yes?
So how many is that? I'm sorry.
15. Yes, sir?
Who has not been nominated?
Well, I would hope the gentleman could. Yes, Eric, yes, sir.
I nominate Student Association of
Bangladesh, yeah, okay. Any other nominations? Yes, ma'am?
I'll nominate Omaha and Delta County.
Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Yes, sir? Have a motion to close nomination period. Is there a second to that motion? We have a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the opposed? The nomination period is closed. And it's going to take some time for us to process this, so I would ask that you please remain, since we are in session, in silence. You can talk a little bit, but let's not get too out of hand because I got to process all this now. We'll now suspend and go back into formal session. At this time, we will move into a period of debate. Just a reminder on the length of the debate. Currently, senators are allowed 2-minute floor recognition, and I'm going to get my timer out to make sure I have it, and 10 minutes total. So if someone would like to suspend that at some other point, then you can, but first we'll move into debate. So let me get my timer up. And you must be recognized first, so I know we're all ready to jump into it. Okay, we're entering a period of debate. There be any discussion? Senator Bryant.
I would like to speak on behalf of the Precision Flight Team. The Precision Flight Team represents aviation, which is a very underrepresented group in the College of Liberal Arts. You know, aviation is kind of an outcast from the College of Liberal Arts. You know, we're not history or English majors, but we're still in the same college, and I want to bring more representation. A big part of my campaign was bringing more representation to the aviation department. And I feel like this would be a really good way to start that, especially with a good leadership team and the Precision Flight Team. We could bring more power to the aviation department within the College of Liberal Arts.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Goolsbee.
So first off, I'd like to say I do agree with the idea that aviation is fairly underrepresented within College of Liberal Arts. So I think it would be good for them to get their own representation through the Precision Flight Team. Additionally, I'm aware that in the past there have been problems with the KLPI ex officio. I just wanted to point out, I personally spoke with the person who applied for the seat and who is going to be fulfilling the ex officio position. He is personally interested in participating in the Senate. He's aware of the responsibility. So I just wanted to speak on his behalf and say, like, he will actually be fulfilling his responsibilities on the Senate. Last year, the person had been somewhat pressured into doing it and wasn't really interested in it. But for KLPI, the representative this year is fully committed to actually being a part of the Senate.
Go ahead.
I would like to add on to that. Additionally, KLPI has been absorbed into the School of Music, especially for the major of music industry studies. And so this is a wonderful way for music students who are also kind of underrepresented most of the time. And additionally, another small version of the College of Liberal Arts for them to be represented.
I want to talk in behalf of the International Student Association. I really think they deserve a seat on the Senate because as an international student, I didn't know what SGA was my freshman year, and I think that like having them here would like improve the lack of communication that they have been told us before. The same with the Namaste Association. I think it's like there are a lot of people from Nepal that like you meet them on campus and they really want to be involved, and I think that would be like a good fit for SGA, and also like more about culture and being diverse.
Senator Bender.
Okay, I'd like to speak a little bit about the Peer Leadership Council, given I Gage said the thing about them finding out that we were not student funded. So a little bit about that. It's kind of like a technicality. So it's not directly said like PLC is funded by student funds, so it's not funded by student funds. But the counseling center is, and the counseling center uses those funds to fund the Peer Leadership Council. So technically, it's being used by student funds, which is not student funded. Just wanted to kind of clarify that a little bit. But definitely, I think that it's an organization that should have a seat. Senator last year should be here again. Should PLC get a seat? Really did a great job with some bills and things like that. But on top of that, with being connected to the counseling center, we come in contact with a lot of different students who are not part of PLC, but who are like talking about their concerns and things that they would like to see on campus. So it's definitely an organization I think that we should give a seat to.
Thanks, Senator.
I would like to speak on behalf of the Louisiana Forestry and supporters. One of my things that I said in my campaign as a applied natural science senator was that I wanted and South Campus majors to be more represented because a lot of people ignore them. And they're really not represented, so I think that they would really do a great job with this seat because they are very underrepresented and could use the representation.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm speaking on behalf of the flight team and also one Louisiana Flight supporter. Both of these organizations represent portions of campus that are physically disconnected from us. So I think it's really important that they have representation on SGA because they have a hard time getting involved and a lot of times their voices aren't heard.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to speak on behalf of the Engineering and Science Association. I know last year we did have a seat and our ex officio did not fully do her duties. Similar to KLPI, I personally know and would like to speak on his behalf that our Senator this year would be extremely excited to be able to represent the Engineering and Science Association. That is the only student-funded engineering organization on this campus, and we have direct contact with every single COS organization through our monthly GPM, so therefore they would be able to directly report to every single COS organization. So I think it is extremely important that they have a seat. Additionally, as an executive member of Panhellenic Council, I would like to kind of call attention that we do have several members of IFC already on this council, so I truly do not believe IFC is an underrepresented part of the Senate.
Yes, ma'am.
I certainly don't mean to be the negativity. I don't truly believe that the Engineering and Science Association is like an organization that's underrepresented. This campus is compiled a lot of engineering students, and I do feel like there's a lot of organizations on here that are underrepresented students, like Matt said, like the precision team. I feel like there should be more of students who are not well represented, who have smaller numbers, rather than a college such as the Engineering and Science that is as large as it is.
Senator Bender.
So, point of clarification, I'm pretty sure that when ESA actually filled out the application, it was because of student funding, because they do receive student funding from each engineering student within COES. And they're also the governing body for all the other COES organizations. So while we have some that have also applied and are on here, there's plenty of others that did not apply, but they directly answer to the Engineering Science Association. They have general body meetings, I think bi-weekly actually, where all the leaders in these organizations come to express their concerns. So I would say it's actually probably very important that they are here because they represent all these different organizations. Even though we have 4 senators based on our numbers, this is someone at all these organizations who don't have seats can go talk to and things like that. And I know Alyssa had mentioned that the Attorney Council is majority, I guess most of the guys on the Senate are members of the Attorney Council. Pretty sure it's 5 of the guys that are on here are actually members of the Attorney Council already. So I kind of have to agree. We've got that many representatives already. I don't really know if it's underrepresented.
Senator Sanford, if you'd like, you don't have to.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of pivot the situation to talk more about who is actually better represented on our university campus. Tech is historically a private-wide institution. With that being said, our people when we talk about diversity and inclusion, these are the people we are talking about. Because if you look in this room right now, most of us are white, which that's cool, that's great. But we still need students of color to be represented and feel that they have a voice. Because in order to recruit students of color to our campus, we need to retain the students of color on our campus. So that's why I moved to have both Black Student Union represented as an ex-officio seat and the National Panhellenic Council because they oversee the Black organizations on campus. With that being said, I'm going to go down.
As a point of courtesy from the chair, we do have about 1 minute and 10 seconds left of debate. I recognize Senator Meany. Motion to suspend bylaw 10.2B regarding debate. Would there be a sufficient second to that motion? We have a sufficient second. This is a incidental motion that requires 2/3 majority vote. Would there be any discussion on suspending debate or extending debate? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We'll now ask for the members to raise their hands since there was, all those in favor of the original motion, please stand to be counted. And you can be seated. All those against the motion to extend debate, please rise. There were 12 for and 4 against, 2/3 present is 12. The motion carries. The bylaw to end debate is suspended. Members still are going to adhere to the 2-minute recognition. I appreciate the motion. Senator?
I completely agree with what Caitlin said. The reason that I think that the National Society of Black Engineers would be more beneficial on this ex officio Senate rather than ESA is because we have a College of Engineering and Science senator, and you're adding a National Society of Black Engineers. So you're having two organizations that are sitting in these seats that are representing engineering as a whole, but also a seat that's representing Black engineers as a whole itself. I don't really feel like it's that necessary to have 3 when you're representing such a large organization like the College of Engineering and Science.
Thanks, Senator. Senator Meany had her hand up. I'll recognize her. Senator Meany.
Okay, since we have 16 seats and 18 people up here, I think it's very likely that we could end up with NSB and ESA on here. With that being said, I don't think that Omnicom Delta Kappa really needs to be represented, just because there are other organizations on here that are going to provide a more unique perspective than a service society.
Senator Bender.
I will say I can actually completely agree with what Senator Meany was saying. But that being said, I know we kind of already addressed this with the Interfraternity Council. A lot of us that are already on there. So not saying that I think ODK shouldn't have one or something like that. But there's probably a whole lot less of them than there are IFC. So if we have to just canceling out one, it's just what I'm kind of throwing out there.
Senator Anderson.
I'd just like to speak on behalf of NKC, National Family Council. I know last year we had some struggles with NKC chair or ex officio, just on attendance, and I will say ex officio that will be in place this year if we are selected. The ex officio last year, she on some bills and resolutions and promises for her job. As well as though I don't see the need for IFC being that a lot of organizations or members in SGA are already part of IFC. And also, I'm up for clarification why someone feels they need to see. Just for that, so
Thank you, Senator. Senator Goolsbee.
On the topic of ESA and NSB both having seats, ESA is representing all of engineering. So NSB primarily, of course, represents Black engineers, but there are a lot of other minorities in engineering that need to get represented as well. And although NSB is inclusive, and I'm not to belittle them or anything at all, but it's also important to make sure that there is something that represents the other sorts of minorities in engineering. And ESA, by covering all of engineering, does do that. So it has a representation for all minorities in engineering.
Senator Bender.
Kind of clarifying some of the groups that the Engineering Science Association does represent. They do also represent Society of Women Engineers, as well as like Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and several other like organizations that are all for minorities within engineering. So it's not just you represent more engineering students, you're representing the minority organizations that are also within College of Engineering and Science.
Senator Sanford.
I'm also going to talk about Union Board. I know the Union Board has a lot of support. I'm not saying that I'm opposed, nor am I saying that I support Union Board having a sufficient seat. But I would say that Union Board does work very closely with SGA, and they do put on a lot of events for the student body of Tech. So I think it would be crucial for them to have one. But at the same time, I do understand since a lot of members of SGA are also involved in we do not have one. I'm just saying, like, if y'all would like to discuss that as well, I think if you have a great plan on that, I would really appreciate it, because I would like to kind of neutral on that.
Senator Bender?
I guess I'll clarify in defense of the union board. If I'm correct, pretty sure union board's budget per quarter is actually larger than SGA's. They receive so much student funding that not having them as an ex officio seat kind of be a disservice, in my opinion, to the rest of the student body, considering how much they're being paid by each student.
Any other discussion? We have a motion to move the previous question. Well, in debate would be more correct. We have a motion to end debate, as the gentlelady previously stated. Is there a second to that motion? We have a sufficient second. This will require a 2/3 majority vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the opposed? The ayes have it. The motion is carried. We'll move now into a session of voting to consider the previous motion. So the way we're going to do this is, unless there is any objection, we have a poll set up that senators will scan a QR code and will take them to a voting booth where they can cast their vote. If there's any objection to that, then we can do it any other way of choosing. If you want to, do it other way. Is there an objection to voting via poll? Any objection whatsoever? Yes, sir.
Not yet clarifying.
Yes, sir.
Just keep it anonymous.
Yes. You will record your name, but that's for the sake of verifying the vote. But you will go into the poll, vote, and then when the poll closes after I've received 17 votes, then we'll have the Senator. Yes, Senator Golden.
Again, just clarifying, to make sure I remember how the process works. It is every organization that gets a majority of votes.
Yes. So we'll consider the ballot the first time with the individual seat on the board. The people that have received a majority vote will be removed from the ballot and will be reconsidered until we have 16. So it's not a one-time deal. We'll reconsider the ballot, removing those names who have been approved. If there's no objection to voting via the Google form, Senator,
Are you sending it to the group?
it'll be a QR code you'll scan with your phone.
Send it to the group so we can do it on our laptop?
Well, the only thing I have against that is that senators that aren't present will have access to it, and you'll be able to go back at a later date.
It's gonna be huge on here.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. Are there any other questions regarding this before I say there's no objection and move on with this form of voting? Okay, we're hearing none. I'm going to do some things to the stream here. stream. Okay, so if all vote senators voted wish to vote. Considering this, those organizations that have received a full majority vote are African Student Association, Black Student Union, Engineering and Science Association, International Student Association, KLPI, Louisiana Tech Precision Flight Team, Minority Association of Pre-Med Students, Namaste Nepal Association, National Panhellenic Council, National Society of Black Engineers, Peer Leadership Council, Student Association of Bangladesh, United African American Men Incorporated, Union Board, and Louisiana Women of Forestry. And I'll reference the Madam Secretary to make sure, is that 16? Have we received 16 yet? How many is that? That was 15? Okay. Okay, well, if that's the case, then we'll have to reconsider the ballot. So please pause. So now we can remove those who have been approved. So please stand by. This is a process, y'all. We're trying to make this as easy and painless as possible. So please, one moment. Can you come help me, please? Okay. I need to pull up the second ballot and I need to go through and see who has removed those who have been approved. Okay. So now, how many we have? 15? So vote for one, right? We only have one left. Yes. So. Okay, and then vote for maximum. I gotta go down here to 1, and then now we need to remove those who have approved. Okay. So, I'm gonna put this right here. I was gonna say, where's vote 2? Okay, now we got it. Okay, so this is vote 1, go to responses. So now I'm gonna go through here, remove those who have been approved, and you help me make sure.
So which
So
ones?
just 10, the ones that have 10 votes. Okay. So,
I'll read it to you and
okay.
you delete it. African Student Association.
Okay.
Black Student Union.
Okay.
Engineering and Science.
Okay.
International Student Association.
Okay.
KLPI.
Okay.
Louisiana Tech Precision Flight Team. Sorry. Minority Association of Pre-Health Students.
Okay.
Okay. Namaste Association, Nepal Association.
Okay.
National Panhellenic.
Okay.
National Society of Black Engineers.
Okay.
Omicron Delta. No, I lied. I'm sorry.
So 17 was National
Peer
Society.
Leadership Council.
Okay, PLC.
Student Association of Bangladesh.
Okay.
United African American
Okay.
Union Board.
Okay.
Women of Louisiana Forestry.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay, senators, got it figured out. So now we're going to move into the second consideration of this ballot, and we have removed Those organizations receiving the 10 votes is neither. So neither IFC or Omicron Delta Kappa has not received the majority vote. With that being said, we'll need a motion if the body wishes to reconsider the ballot again. And then it'd be the same ballot. Senator Meany.
Can we go back to nominations or is that?
No, we've motioned to end nominations.
So we're just going to reconsider the ballot?
We'll need a motion at this point to reconsider the ballot.
And we don't want to?
If you don't want to, then don't vote for that or don't make the motion. Either way. So you can leave it at 15. Somebody can stand up right now and say, Mr. Speaker, I want to reconsider the ballot, and we'll reconsider this until we stop getting support to reconsider. Right? No. Can't debate. Yes, ma'am. If you don't wish to, then don't say anything, and then we'll have 15. If you do wish to vote again, and you feel passionate about one of these organizations, then you can simply say, I motion to reconsider the ballot, and we'll have a second, and we have to have a vote for that. Yes, ma'am.
I feel that if we.
I'm sorry. We're not having a vote. We're not debating. Okay. Well, if there's no motion, yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes.
Right now, what should we do? Like a motion to.
Right now, I'm telling you the options. So in a few seconds, if nobody says anything, I'm going to end this, and we're going to have 15 senators this year. If, in this period, a senator would like to reconsider the ballot that we just voted on with IFC and Omicron Kappa Delta, you can do that. We'll vote on it, and then after we have approved reconsidering the ballot, then we will vote on it again on the same ballot. Is everybody clear on that? Does that make sense? Yes, ma'am.
There's no way we can say like any debate or anything.
We're not in a debate period right now. Yes, ma'am.
I would like to.
We have a motion to reconsider the ballot. Is there a second to that motion? We have a second to the motion. We have a motion and second to reconsider the ballot. This will be 2/3. All those in favor, please say aye. All those in favor of reconsidering the ballot, please say aye. Any opposed?
Nay.
The nays have it. The ballot is closed. There will be 15 ex officio senators this term. We're not done with session, however. We now have adjournment. Are there any final items that senators wish to discuss? And this can be announcements or anything you'd like to make what you're working on. Yes, ma'am.
Are we allowed to tell people what their SPCs are now?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's wide open. What we're going to do probably, we'll have a strategized PR approach to announcing. We're going to make a graphic that'll announce what it is, and you'll expect that pretty soon. Any other questions? Any other reports? Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, because I'm just not familiar with this. When we vote, do we have to, like, are we always remaining anonymous?
Not all the time. The reason that this was done, and here's what happens. It's up to the speaker, right? I elect which form of voting we're going to do. If anyone objects to that, you say you object to that, right? So when we do bills and stuff, I'm going to do it first via voice vote. And if it is tight, then I'll say whatever. If I say we're going to take a voice vote and somebody wants to do it via roll call where your name is recorded with your vote, then you do that. And then if nobody objects, we'll do that. See what I mean? Okay. So it's not always that way, but this is the easiest way for us to do it. Okay? All right. Well, if there's nothing else, then the 85th Senate stands adjourned until reopening proceedings by the chair.